Paper, it's something we use every single day, whether it's writing essays at school, drawing pictures of Mr. Beast, or wiping up spills with a paper towel. We use paper all the time, but have you ever stopped to think about where paper comes from? I mean, when you finish a roll of paper towel, what happens to it? Does it just disappear? And how does that even work? Well, after some digging, I learned that paper goes through an amazing journey from trees to sheets, and then eventually to your hands. The first step in making paper is getting the paper. Scientists have been making paper for hundreds of years, but most of the world's paper today comes from wood, specifically softwood trees like pine, spruce, and fir trees. These fast-growing trees are usually planted in special paper-making plantations so they can be harvested and turned into paper quickly. Once the trees are tall enough, workers carefully cut them down by hand, being careful not to damage the roots or the soil. Then the logs are collected and taken to the paper mill, which is where the real paper magic begins. Paper-making machines are fascinating and complex, but let's break down the main steps. First, the logs are put into a machine called a digester, which uses hot water and chemicals to break the wood down into its basic components. Cellulose fibers, which will become the paper's skeleton, and lignin, which acts like a glue to hold everything together. After cooking for several hours, the mixture is washed and screened to remove any impurities. This is also where the wood's natural color comes from. Certain woods have different color pigments that give the paper its hue, like the reddish color of maple trees or the grayish color of bamboo. Next, the mixture goes through a machine called a beat, and this really breaks down the fibers to help them stick together and form a sheet. After beating, the mixture goes through a series of rollers that press out any excess water. Then it's time to dry the fibers out. The wet sheet of paper is passed through giant heated rollers that remove even more water and make the paper feel soft and smooth. Almost done. Finally, the paper is rolled up and sent off to be cut into sheets or converted into other paper products like paper towels. Making paper isn't easy, and it takes a lot of energy and resources. But thanks to modern technology and sustainable forestry practices, we can make paper without harming the environment. In fact, paper made from 100% post-consumer recycled fibers uses less energy than paper made from virgin fibers. Plus, when you recycle paper, you're saving trees, conserving water, and reducing the amount of waste going to landfills. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know much about paper before making this video, but now I'm a paper pro. I mean, I could talk about paper all day long. Like how paper was invented in China over 2,000 years ago, or how ancient Egyptians used papyrus instead of paper. But for now, I'm gonna wrap things up. I hope you learned something new, and I hope you never stop asking questions.